A major seventh is an interval that describes the distance between the first and the seventh degree of any major scale. It is used in every major seventh chord. In the German language, it is called a big seventh. In a chord, it is most commonly marked with the symbol Maj7. Cmaj7 and Fmaj7 are the only major chords that use only the white keys of the piano. A dominant 7 interval, traditionally called a minor seventh, is an interval that describes the distance between the first and the lowered seventh degree of any major scale. It is used in every dominant seventh chord. In this chord, it is marked only with the symbol 7. I repeat, only a 7. And that is where every student of mine gets lost. It was confusing to me also, even though in general, theory is probably the easiest thing I have ever done in my life. So here the confusion is universal at first. In the German language, this interval is simply called a small seventh. So in reality, we are really dealing with big and small sevenths. A G7 chord is the easiest dominant 7 chord in music. It uses only the white notes of a piano, so it is unique. Those of you who know about the Mixolydian mode know that this mode has a lowered 7th degree. The Mixolydian mode is what the letter chord system is really based on, not the major scale. These two kinds of sevenths, the big and small sevenths, are combined with triads to make 8 possible 7 chords. About half of these 8 chords are smooth, and so they are very common. But a few of them are very crunchy and seem at first to be a little weird. Later, these crunchy chords become equally important. There are 4 qualities of triads. A major triad is any chord like G, B, and D. It is marked with a letter for the root plus a sharp or flat if necessary. The quality of the chord is not indicated. A minor triad is a chord like G, B flat, and D. It is marked with a letter for the root plus a sharp or flat if necessary. A lowercase m is added at the end to show that it is a minor triad. An augmented triad is a chord like G, B, and D sharp. It is marked with a letter for the root plus a sharp or flat if necessary. AUG, or a plus sign, is added to show that it is an augmented triad. A diminished triad is a chord like G, B flat, and D flat. It is an incomplete diminished chord written in snowman style because that is how a triad is always written. Since there are only 3 notes in the triad, the 4th or the top note of the fully diminished chord is omitted. It is marked with a letter for the root plus a sharp or flat if necessary. The letters DIM, or a small circle, is added at the end to show it is a diminished triad. These 4 qualities can be combined with either the major 7th interval or the dominant 7th interval, so that there are 8 possible ways to combine the 4 qualities of triads with big and small sevenths. I will show 6 of them that I have seen most frequently with standardized symbols. The major 7 chord, written as Maj7, combines a major triad with a major 7th interval. G, B, D, F sharp would be an example. The dominant 7 chord, written only with a 7, combines a major triad with the dominant 7th interval. G, B, D, F would be an example. The minor 7th chord, written with a little m plus a 7, combines a minor triad with a dominant 7th interval. G, B flat, D, and F would be an example. The minor 7th flat 5 chord, also called a half diminished chord, is written as a circle with a slash through it, or a little m plus 7, flat, and 5. It combines a diminished triad with a dominant 7th interval. G, B flat, D flat, and F would be an example. The minor major 7th chord, written with a little m plus Maj7, combines a minor triad with a major seventh interval. G, B flat, D, F sharp would be an example. This 7 chord is not diatonic. It can have a very crunchy, jazzy sound, but it can be also resolved in a very traditional way. The augmented major 7th chord, written as Maj7, parentheses, sharp 5, close parentheses, or AUG Maj7, combines an augmented triad with a major 7th interval. G, B, D sharp, F sharp would be an example. This 7 chord is also not diatonic. It can have a very modern jazzy sound, but once again it can also be resolved in a very traditional way. I know that all of this can seem like a very confusing rabbit hole, but if you master this system and the chords that we get as a result of this system, you have chords that everyone from Bach to Tchaikovsky to modern jazz musicians use on a daily basis. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave comments about anything that you like, comments about anything that you would like to see in the future, and remember that I consider all suggestions.